Eben Etzebeth, born in October 1991 in Cape Town, South Africa, is a towering figure in the world of rugby, standing at over 2 meters tall, 6'8", and weighing over 120 kilos or 265 pounds. Etzebeth has earned a reputation as one of the most fearsome players in modern rugby. His presence on the pitch is as intimidating as it is commanding, and his exploits for both the South African national team and his clubs have solidified his place as one of the greatest locks in rugby history. Known for his physicality and uncompromising tackles and his dominating line-out work, Etzebeth is the embodiment of South African rugby's hard edge. Opponents often speak of the unique challenge of facing him, with his fiery demeanour and relentless aggression striking fear into the heart of even the toughest players. Despite his tough exterior, Etzebeth is renowned for his disciplined play, rarely overstepping the bounds of fair competition.
When you're running into a breakdown or you want to make a big collision on a player, like, is it in your mind or not?
No, I think still probably flying, but obviously doing it within the rules. I mean, if you hurt someone within the rules and there was nothing wrong and it was just physicality, I mean, so as long as we're in the rules, I mean, definitely we must keep it physical, and sometimes we're just going to have to fly into stuff to make it nice for the people to watch also.
Etzebeth was a cornerstone of the Springbok pack, helping them dominate scrums and breakdowns en route to lifting the Webb Ellis Cup.
South Africa are back-to-back Rugby World Cup champions. They stand alone with a full Webb Ellis Cup.
His physicality and leadership were crucial. Off the field, Etzebeth is described as a gentleman, a far cry from the fiery competitor seen on match days. Known for his humility and kindness, he often takes time to engage with fans and give back to the community.
We love our fans, and it's always nice to see the fans coming to the stadiums flying. I mean, South Africa is not around the corner, so for them flying from South Africa to come support us is special, and just amazing people back home. Obviously, some people we know can't make it, can't afford it. They're just as special.
He is deeply family oriented and married to Annelia van Rensburg, a South African actress and singer. Together they share a young daughter who Etzebeth credits as a grounding force in his life. A legacy of toughness runs in the Etzebeth family. Eben's uncle, Cliffie Etzebeth, is a legend in his own right. A hard man and notorious pub fighter, Cliffie's stories are the stuff of folklore in South Africa. Known for his rugged demeanour and no-nonsense attitude, Cliffie's influence on Eben was significant. Family connection underscores the Etzebeth legacy of resilience and strength. The Etzebeth name is legendary in South African rugby circles, but before Eben Etzebeth carried the family's flag to global rugby fame, his uncles Cliffie and Skattie Etzebeth forged their own legacy, known as much for their exploits on the rugby pitch as for their fearsome reputation as wrestlers and barroom brawlers. Cliffie and Skattie are remembered as icons of raw toughness and unrelenting spirit. Cliffie and Skattie Etzebeth were both exceptional rugby players in the rough and tumble amateur era of the sport. Playing in local leagues around the Western Cape, they quickly gained a reputation for their fearless playing style. Cliffie, a hulking forward, was known for his bruising runs, bone-crunching tackles and dominance in scrums. Skattie, slightly more agile but no less aggressive, was equally at home in the back row, combining athleticism with a physicality that often left opponents reeling. The brothers' presence on the pitch was legendary. They were not just players, they were enforcers. In an era when rugby was as much about physical dominance as it was about skill. The Etzebeth brothers were revered and in some quarters feared. Tales of their exploits in heated derby matches remain part of local folklore, with stories of their heroic performances and hard-nosed attitude passed down through generations. The Etzebeth brothers were more than rugby players, they were warriors. Off the pitch they were skilled wrestlers, engaging in local competitions and earning respect for their grappling prowess. Wrestling was a natural extension to their rugby game, blending strength, technique and unyielding will to dominate. However, their fame as wrestlers was rivaled if not eclipsed by their notoriety as barroom brawlers. Cliffie in particular was known for his readiness to settle disputes with his fists, often stepping into the fray to defend friends or assert his presence. Skattie, always by his brother's side, was no less formidable. The brothers were known to clear entire bars when tempers flared, earning a reputation as men who are not to be trifled with. Despite their rough edges, they lived by a code of honour. They didn't seek out trouble, but were quick to stand up for themselves and others when necessary. Locals admired their loyalty and their sense of justice that seemed to guide their actions. Tales of Cliffie and Skattie Etzebeth are woven into the fabric of South African rugby and cultural lore. Their toughness, both on and off the field, set a standard that their nephew, Eben Etzebeth, has carried forward in the professional era. While Eben channels his family's grit into his rugby career, the legacy of Cliffie and Skattie remains a reminder of a bygone era when rugby players were not just athletes, but larger-than-life characters. But back to Eben. Eben Etzebeth's career is adorned with accolades. He has earned over 131 caps for the Springboks.
I think tonight is one of my biggest honours to give him this cap as the most capped Springbok of all time.
Captaining the team on several occasions, and is considered one of the premier locks of his generation. His club career has been equally impressive, with successful stints in South Africa, France and England. Eben Etzebeth is more than just a rugby player. He is a symbol of South African grit and determination. Whilst his on-field exploits showcase a fearsome warrior, his off-field demeanour highlights a loving husband, father and a humble sportsman. Through his achievements and the legacy of his family, Etzebeth has carved out a place as one of rugby's most respected players, proving that even the toughest players can be gentle giants.